Why do we willingly forego what keeps us alive? The human body is an amazing creation. It's like a machine needing fuel to keep running, but sometimes many of us choose to stop fueling it. Some call this dieting, a way to be healthy or lose weight. Others, though, see it as a spiritual act. Fasting. It's a practice with roots reaching back to ancient times. Think about Jesus' teachings in Matthew 6:18. He basically said, "When you fast, don't make a show of it. Only God should see the depth of your sacrifice." This wasn't just about not eating. Jesus touched on the deeper meaning. Fasting isn't for the world to see. It's a personal conversation between a believer and God. It's about humility, reflection, and making our bond with God stronger than any worldly praise. Delving deeper into this message, one realizes that this was more than guidance for a spiritual act. It was an ethos for living a sincere life. The act of fasting symbolizes a conscious detachment from the physical world and its desires, drawing one into a space of introspection and spiritual communion. By not advertising or wearing the signs of fasting as badges of honor, believers are advised to maintain an internal focus. This teaches that the real transformation and enlightenment are inner experiences, and they need no external validation. Furthermore, it underscores the idea of personal sacrifice. When one fasts, the physical body undergoes a challenge. Hunger is not just a sensation, it's a reminder. Every time the stomach rumbles, it's a call to reflect on the purpose of the fast, to meditate on one's relationship with God, and to appreciate the value of self-discipline in a broader spiritual journey. In today's world, we often do things for likes and approval. The age of social media has amplified our desire to be acknowledged and validated by others. Each post, share, or update often comes with the silent hope for recognition. This trend has, unfortunately, led to a culture where the line between genuine actions and performed behaviors is blurred. But Jesus' message is different. Real faith doesn't need an audience. At its core, faith is a deeply intimate relationship with the divine, anchored in trust, belief, and love. The teachings remind us that seeking external validation can often divert us from the genuine path of spiritual progress. When actions are taken merely for show, they lose their essence and become hollow rituals. Reflecting upon this, when we fast and look no different from any other day, we aren't just practicing restraint, we're living an authentic faith. This unassuming nature of a true believer becomes a testament to the depth of their connection with God. It reinforces the idea that our spiritual practices, be it fasting or prayer, are not transactions for public acclaim, but heartfelt conversations with the Creator. Fasting is more than not eating. It's like sending a message straight to God saying, "See my dedication." But Jesus also said not to brag about it. It's a private matter between you and Him. Even though our body wants food, our soul might find something deeper, a connection to something bigger than us. This act of deliberate self-denial, of choosing the spirit over the flesh, highlights the immense power of human will when aligned with faith. Every moment one chooses to refrain from eating, there's an active acknowledgement of a higher purpose, an embrace of a greater calling. The pangs of hunger become more than just biological signals. They evolve into gentle reminders of the sacrifices made in the name of faith, nudging us towards reflection and prayer. These moments when we feel vulnerable perhaps are the moments when our spirit is most receptive, attuned to the whispers of the divine. Moreover, by keeping this act of devotion private, as Jesus advised, there's a profound lesson about the purity of intention. In a world that often values outward display over inner substance, choosing not to broadcast our sacrifices becomes an exercise in humility. It suggests that the true value of our actions lies not in public recognition, but in the personal, intimate bond forged with the divine. The quiet, unseen moments of dedication become the loudest testament to one's faith, echoing in the vast halls of spiritual eternity. Think of fasting like climbing a mountain. It's tough, but the challenge helps us grow. If you're new to it, start slow. Remember, it's about the heart, not how long you go without food. Historically, Jews have a fasting day called Yom Kippur. As the day ends, they start fasting, echoing back to Genesis 1:5's idea of time. This isn't just a tradition, it's a deep commitment. Yom Kippur is a day to reflect, to ask for forgiveness, and to come closer to God. They aren't just missing a meal, they're feeding their spirit. If you're thinking of trying fasting, there are different ways. Absolute fast, no food or water. Normal fast, only liquids. Partial fast, cutting out certain foods. Each method has its meaning. The most intense is the absolute fast, where you give up everything. It's both a physical and spiritual challenge. The normal fast is a balance of body and soul. The partial fast is a choice of dedication over strictness. The absolute fast pushes the boundaries of human endurance. By completely abstaining from both food and water, an individual not only tests their physical limits, but also embarks on a deep spiritual journey. This form of fasting often signifies an immense need for clarity, guidance, or spiritual breakthrough. It is a total surrender, a complete reliance on the divine, underlining the idea that one can be sustained not by bread alone, but by the very word of God. On the other hand, the normal fast, while less intense, offers a harmonious blend of worldly sustenance and spiritual devotion. It recognizes our earthly needs while emphasizing the soul's yearning for a divine connection. Liquids nourish the body, but the lack of solid food is a constant reminder of the sacrifices made for a higher purpose. Meanwhile, the partial fast embodies flexibility and intent. It's an acknowledgement that it's not always about the magnitude of the sacrifice, but the sincerity behind it. By choosing what to forego, one is actively engaging in a dialogue with their faith, demonstrating that true devotion lies in understanding and heartful commitment, not just ritualistic practices, but in the end, fasting isn't about the rules. It's about the heart and finding a deeper connection to something greater. When you think of trying it, remember why you're doing it. As Jesus taught, when we come together with sincerity, our faith grows even stronger. Fasting is more than a ritual. It's a choice, a sacrifice, and a way to find deeper meaning in our lives.